Hey guys! In this video I want to share some superstitions and traditions surrounding pregnancy and childbirth from my country, Kazakhstan. I didn't do any specific research on the subject nor am I an expert, so I made this list based on the things that I've been hearing from my family and friends ever since I got pregnant. So these superstitions could be commonly known for anyone who's from Kazakhstan. And if you know some more or you think these are wrong, please comment below. Superstitions are weird in the sense that we don't know where they came from, and most of the time they sound crazy. We don't know if there's any valid reasoning behind them. I made this list without any rating system on the level of craziness or absurdity. It might sound like that to you, but for people from Kazakhstan, they're so common that nobody really thinks about where they came from. So let's start off the list. Number 1, do not cut your hair while pregnant, because that will cut the baby's life short. I don't know if there's any real connection between the length of mother's hair to the person's lifespan, but this is actually a rule that I follow, not because I believe in it, but not to upset my family. Next, do not dye your hair during pregnancy. This is something I can actually get behind because with all the changes that are happening in your body, you don't know how the hair dye is going to affect you, whether you're going to have an allergic reaction or there are going to be any harmful chemicals to you or to the baby, so it's safer to just avoid it altogether. Number 3, no knitting during pregnancy, or the umbilical cord will get wrapped around baby's neck. I guess if you think about knots and tying the thread, it will somehow telekinetically affect the umbilical cord to create a knot as well. I don't know the reason behind this, but when I mentioned to my mother that I want to knit something for the baby, she totally freaked and strongly advised me not to do it. And she actually made me promise that I will not knit anything before the baby's born. Number 4, do not tell anyone about pregnancy to avoid evil eye and jinx. Now, I don't know about jinxing, but some people are pretty private and they don't want to share the news for quite a long time just because they want to avoid awkward situations and they don't want to answer any questions about their pregnancy. So that's cool, but sharing the news early on could also be beneficial because then you can have the support of your family and friends, and it's very, very important in the first few months of pregnancy when you don't know what's happening and you're completely unprepared for it. Number 5, do not prepare baby's room or buy any of the baby clothes and toys in advance. They say that you can do it once the baby already arrives, and this is done to avoid, again, evil eye and jinxing. Gotta say this is a bit impractical. Who's gonna have time or energy to go shopping for baby stuff right after delivery, right? But in Kazakhstan, most of the time, like, your family gives you all the baby things that you need. It's all gifted to you, and it's all brought to your house while you're still in the hospital with your baby. Well, at least that's what I've seen people do. But lately, more and more young people are ignoring this rule in favor of being more practical and being prepared for the baby's arrival. Number 6, do not rock an empty cradle. Now, I don't know the reason behind it or the origins of this particular superstition, but I'm just gonna say don't do that because it just looks creepy. And unless you want to scare your family members or whoever comes to your house, just don't do it because it looks like a scene straight from a horror movie. Don't do it. Number 7, do not attend funerals. This actually makes sense to me because, well, they say that you should avoid stressful situations during pregnancy, and any emotional distress might affect your and your baby's well-being. So this is the same reason why you should try to avoid worrying too much. You should be more relaxed, and this is the same reason why I don't watch scary movies anymore. Number 8. Do not go outside at night or in the dark. For example, if you have to take down the laundry or take out the garbage or go to the grocery store, get some water from a well, I don't know, ask somebody else to do it, or just wait till the morning, because the night is when the evil spirits come to earth and a pregnant woman can see them, get scared, and have a miscarriage. Spooky, right? Again, sounds like a plot of a horror movie. Complete nonsense in my opinion, but I like how detailed it is. Number 9. Do not eat any camel meat or drink shubat, which is fermented camel milk. The reason is that if you do, the baby will be born way later than the due date, and you can be pregnant for up to 12 months or so. Crazy, right? Good thing I don't have any access to shubat in Mexico. Shubat is actually really yummy, and if you're ever in Kazakhstan, please try it. Now that concludes my list, and as crazy as it all sounds, there's always an aunt, a family friend, or a cousin who's brought up as an example of one of these superstitions actually working. And what people do, they actually scare you into following these rules, and being pregnant and being very emotional and worried about everything, of course you follow these rules. Well, me personally, even though I find some of them really silly, I still follow these rules, not because I believe in them in particular, but mostly to keep my family calm and happy. And I think they're part of the culture that I come from, and it's okay. Now, as to how to protect yourself from all the jinxing and evil eye, you're supposed to be wearing something like this. It's a bead with an eye. I think any flashy jewelry or a piece of clothing will work, as long as it's flashy enough to attract an eye of an ill-intended person or anyone who wishes you harm. So that way the jinx will hit the jewelry and not you. Well, that's it for the superstitions from Kazakhstan about pregnancy and childbirth. So what do you guys think about all these superstitions? Did you follow any of them during your pregnancy, or maybe your country has something similar or completely different? What are the traditions, superstitions, and rules that pregnant women have to follow in your country?